Hi, my name is Jacqueline Sitalon. My major is health science, and I want to be a PA.
Hi, my name is Fatima Kaba. I'm a criminal justice major with a minor psychology, and I want to be a criminal psychologist.
My name is Sabrina Cooper, and I major in health sciences.
My name is Ariana McDonough. I am a sports and recreation management major.
Over the last 50 years, women have become more on the scene of working in sports and have been making a more larger presence. However, there is still a substantial difference between men and women working in the sports industry. Ever since I was a little girl, I've always wanted to be in the booth sports commentator. However, during high school, that changed when I started taking more criminal justice classes. But when I enrolled here at Franklin Pierce University, I became largely in part of the sports media major here. In my required classes for this major, I have noticed that there is a small ratio between women and men in the classes, which made me interested in knowing how women felt in the actual industry. In my research, I have found that 40% of women working in sports say they have faced discrimination, and 30% say that they have felt some sort of sexual harassment. This was quite interesting to me, since women feel mostly because they feel like they're underpaid and they have a lot of lack in their job opportunities between their men counterparts, between not being able to work in the booth or like being subjected to working in smaller jobs, like not the bigger games or like things like that. 50 years ago last year, so 51 years ago now, I guess, Title IX came out, and that basically bans discrimination under any educational or activity received with federal financial assistance. And this meant that women in 1972 who would have to stop playing sports after high school because they didn't get to receive scholarships for college to play their sports.
What?
As I was saying, women were not being able to get scholarships for collegiate sports before 1972. But however, after 1972, the female part in sports grew 10%, whereas men in 1972 only grew about 22%. This was quite interesting because women were finally starting to get scholarships for their sports, which made them grow a larger interest in working in sports. Without this, women would not have women athletes to look up to, such as Serena Venus Williams and even Coach Pat Summitt. Female college athletes now have to worry about transgender women becoming into their sports, such as Leah Thomas, the Penn State swimmer who received the first place at their NCAA national championships over actual women athletes who aren't built the same as this former male was, who is much taller and has a much larger wingspan as her female competitors, so to say. But however, Title IX was not supposed to be sex blinded, which makes it kind of wishy-washy on how women athletes and ways for women to get more involved in working in sports and competing in sports is to get them more engaged in the sport. So having more women working in sports will get younger girls to get more involved. So that's how I wanted to become a sports commentator, was because I saw Jenny Dell working for Nesson, and that made me want to be more engaged in learning more about sports. And Erin Andrews, who had the same goal as me, who was just your average American girl who wanted just to talk about sports with guys, but no guys would ever listen to her because they didn't think that she knew what she was talking about. Recently, in the 2022 Tokyo Olympics, women made up 40% of the athletes that were competing, which was only compared to the 2% in the Paris Olympics in the 1900s, which was the year that women started to be included in the Olympics. Another way to get women more involved in sport is to start paying them more, since women aren't getting paid as much as men, as we saw in the United States women's soccer team suing the United States Soccer Association and winning their lawsuit. Also, just getting girls to coach more and gaining that respect in the sports world would get much more girls playing, because when you have a male coaching girls, it's not the same to like a man to understand a woman and how they are as an athlete, because they don't have to go through the same things as women athletes do have to go through. In conclusion, women working in sports are common, but they're not as common as they should be, which is really upsetting. Women should be working in the booth and not just have a sideline reporter job. And I hope with this, it creates more awareness of women working in sports.